Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's UPSC Toppers Answer Copy Analysis, we are going to bring in one of the most important and rewarding segment in Answer Copy Analysis series, that is the Ethics Case Studies. And with respect to ethics case studies, over the years while guiding and mentoring students, I am finding some problematic areas with respect to their answer writing structure. That's why we have brought in this additional video to have good clarity on this segment and make your ethics case study as one of the most rewarding and fetching segment in your GS answer copy. Okay, now what are some of the problems I have been consistently finding over the years is that lack of proper approach. With respect to approach, students are not having good clarity how to write introduction, conclusion, and how to stay within the theme of the case study. Second is that after learning the approach, most of the students are not working on their value addition component. This is why toppers are fetching more than 140, whereas the average UPSC aspirant who are having just an approach, they could fetch either 90 to 100 or 110 and could not cross that extra 30-40 marks. And we will learn that also in today's video. Not only that, the most important problem with most of the aspirants as well as the toppers who have cleared this exam, they have repeatedly told us they are facing constant problem with respect to GS4 ethics paper is the time management. Even though they know most of the answers, they could not complete it on time. So we will have a good clarity and solution for all these problems through today's video. And stay tuned till the end of the video because we are going to have a new announcement for the next year batch, that is a mentorship batch 2026. So we will provide the details, fees details as well as the program details for that, and the registration approach also how to do, we will provide that. Okay, let's go into today's video. So today's video we are going to compare two toppers, that is all India rank 1 of UPSC 2023 and 2024, Aditya Srivastava versus Shakti Dubey's answer copy analysis of ethics. So before going into the video, first we will look into the ethics case study which has been asked here. We will give you a brief introduction on the both of the case studies. So first one concerned about the answer writing technique of Shakti Dubey. And the second one is the answer writing approach of Aditya Srivastava. Okay students, let's now understand what is the first case study which Shakti Dubey has addressed in this particular question. So the first case study talks about a laird. He is an honest SP. He has been working as a SP in a particular district and state. That state is famously known for gang and criminal culture. And what happened is that while transporting a particular criminal to the court, on the way, the particular criminal has been killed, and lot of human rights organizations are demanding inquiry on that particular case. So, with respect to these protests, the state government has appointed a special investigating team to inquire into the matter. And when Layard went into the details of this particular case, he got to know that there is a particular criminal person who is having a, there is a political person who is having a nexus with this criminal who has died, and his seniors, Layard seniors, are giving pressure to him so to leave that particular political person's name by reporting to the SIT, because if you do that, he can be safely posted in the city and his wife and daughter can be safe. If he could not do that, then he will be transferred. So he is in that particular dilemma where they have asked three particular questions on this. So this is the first case study. Let's now go into the second case study which has been asked here. Here again, this concerns also about an IPS officer, that is a commissioner of a police who has been working in a metro city, and a presidential security system is on alert because a foreign dignitary is going to visit an important function in that particular person's place where this event is going to take place, and due to that high safety system, outside people are not allowed. But what happened is that suddenly 15 minutes before the start of the event, a particular alert has been issued that a critically ill patient has struck on the way along with his family and he wanted en route to hospital. So you are in a dilemma whether to compromise on the security system or you wanted to provide full safety, or you wanted to provide an alternative route, or you wanted to provide the same route for this particular critically ill patient. This is the ethical dilemma. So we are going to have a discussion on these two toppers answer analysis now. So first one, as I said, it talks about all in the rank one Shakti Dubey's case study approach. Friends, when you look at this particular case study approach, as I've been telling over the years, whenever you are writing ethics case study, there should be proper introduction, because most of the students are not writing introduction. They are telling that, sir, when it comes to GS paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, we are writing introduction, that's fine. But why we should write with respect to ethics case study and introduction? Generally, in respect to ethics case study, we will not be calling that as an introduction, that is called as a subject matter. You need to introduce yourself, what you have understood in this particular case study in a brief 3 to 4 lines, in a simple manner, what are the ethical issues involved, or what is the ethical dilemma involved in that particular case study. If you could write it, then only that examiner will be aware this person has understood it in a good clarity. Look at this particular topper. Here she talks about the above case study presents the challenge of a criminal justice system. Why criminal justice system? Because this involves an arrest of a criminal who has been killed on the way while taking to the court. So it talks about the challenges of criminal justice system, which is poorly trapped in several issues. So in a brief 3 to 4 lines, this All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey has conveyed to the examiner what is the subject matter, and this will be easily carrying 1 or 2 marks depending upon the weightage of the question as well as the case study. So generally I will be advising to the students who are writing ethics, please try to come out with the subject matter of the case study in a simple manner. Let's now look at Aditya Srivastava. So if you look at Aditya Srivastava's answer copy here, he has started again with the subject matter or introduction. That is, this case presents ethical dilemma upholding rules of objectivity against rules of compassion towards the needy and right to life. That is Article 21. So, while comparing the introduction or subject matter of both of these toppers, that is Shakti Dubey versus Aditya Srivastava, we could find out Aditya Srivastava's introduction is very impressive. Why impressive? Because he has not just briefly introduced the subject matter, he is also talking about that ethical dilemma directly. So this is what generally I will be telling to my students also. What is very very important in case study is, while starting the introduction itself, start attacking the ethical core dilemma. What is the core dilemma this case study is revolving around? Once you are doing that, not only that, see this topper students, he has linked it with the right to life, that is Article 21, constitutional values also. So what are some of the takeaway points? You should try to link it not only with the ethical value, you should also try to link it with the constitutional principles in the introduction itself. If you are doing that, then your subject matter will carry very high weightage and the examiner will find it very impressive. So with respect to introduction or subject matter, Aditya Srivastava's answer copy understanding is highly effective. That's what I will be telling my students also to follow that. Okay, let's now go into the details of these answers, especially All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey. So the first component of the question is, what are the options available? So this particular topper has directly went into the options available, that is All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey. But let's now look into the Aditya Srivastava's answer copy. Here also they are asking in the first component, what are the issues involved in it? That is the ethical issue. So before writing the ethical issue, this topper Aditya Srivastava has came out with an unique approach, writing who are the stakeholders involved. Generally I will be telling this is going to be very very important, because you are going to convey to the examiner who are the people you are going to consider while taking your crucial decision, and later you will be conveying why you are taking that decision. So who are the people you will be considering with respect to this commissioner of police issue, that is a safety issue, commissioner, foreign dignitary are the main persons, other persons critically ill person. Then fourth one is the society at large. This is what going to add value addition to this Aditya Srivastava's answer copy, and the examiner, whoever is evaluating it, they will find it very impressive. Generally, I will be advising, they are asking you the stakeholders or not, please try to write the stakeholders, because this will not take most of your space and time also, but this will give very good impression to the examiner that you have a good clarity who are the people whom you are going to consider while taking this ethical decision. So what is missing in All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey's answer copy is the stakeholders. If she would have introduced the stakeholders also, her answer would have got greater weightage and more marks also. Anyways, let's now go into the main details of the question. That is what are the options available. Generally, students, whenever you are writing ethical case study, this is going to be one of the most common question. So what options are available to you? You only have to generate options. And what is that course of action? Which one you will choose? You have to choose among the options you are listing out. And this is what they are going to ask in most of the case studies. And my sincere suggestion to most of the students who are writing ethical case study is, whenever they are asking you to try to generate options, try to generate maximum 4 options if you have more time and space. In case if your time is limited and you are running out of time, so what I will be suggesting is that try to commonly maintain at least 3 options. This is generally advisable. Let's now look at all India rank 1 Shakti Dubey and Aditya Srivastava, what they have generated, how many options. So if you look at this particular question, there is clearly visible option 1, option 2, and then option 3. So Shakti Dubey has generated 3 options. Let's now look into Aditya Srivastava, how many options he has generated. That is 1, 2. So Aditya Srivastava has generated only 2 options. Generally, I will be suggesting if you would have came out with one more option at least, that would have been more effective. Why I am telling is that if you look at it, there is space available here. He has left the space. Might be he might be running out of time. That might be the most common situation with most of the students. So in that case only you can reduce or compromise some of the things. But anyways, if you are writing 3 options, you have more option of getting very high marks in the UPSC mains examination. Okay, students, let's now go into the approach of these toppers, what they have done with respect to the options. While listing the options, they are talking about merits, demerits. Generally, this is what you have to do whenever they are asking you either to critically evaluate or not. When you are listing an option, kindly convey to them what are the positives and negatives with respect to that. Now, first case study, we know it involves the SP Liard and he has taken the criminal case. So politician is involved. What is the option he will take? He will go with the seniors. That is, senior will be he will follow the directions of the particular senior. So in that case, senior will be impressed. That are those are the positive. So that he has listed first option. Second option, he is telling no conflict. Generally, I will be telling whatever decision you are taking, please try to convey it in a clear manner in the optional heading itself. So here this topper has told that he will not listen to his senior. So second one, so you will go with the honesty and integrity. So what is most important thing is, while analyzing the option, please try to highlight the core ethical values so that the examiner will be impressed. If you look at the third option, she has conveyed that he must consult his seniors who is not related to the investigation. So he will take the advice of other people. So that is also one of the sincere suggestion which you can also take. So this particular topper has came out with 3 options with the merits and demerits. Let's now look into Aditya Srivastava's answer copy. While going into the options available, again, see how this topper has approached. While listing the option itself, he has written that decision. Generally, you should do this only because all in their rank 1 Shakti Dubey has listed that option 1 and 2 in the starting of the first phase of the answer itself. And the examiner who is evaluating it, they will not have good clarity. What is option 1? They need to refer here back. They need to turn back the page. They have to look at it. It will not give good impression to the examiner. Rather than that, you can follow the approach of Aditya Srivastava. Write the decision of the option in the heading itself. First option, allow the critically ill patient to go. What is the another option? Don't allow him to go. That is these are the 2 options he has generated it. And see how he has written the merits and demerits. Uphold the value of invaluable life, equality, then compromise security, objectivity, reputation, national interest, then responsibility, compassion, bureaucratic attitude, crisis of conscience. All the important ethical terminologies this topper or values we can say. This topper has used it. Not only he has used it, he has highlighted that also. Even though he has generated only 2 options, he has written it in a very impressive manner. See here, students, what you need to learn with respect to time management is that suppose if you are running out of time, please come out with this kind of tabular column approach. Tabular column approach will save a lot of time because at the same time you can highlight merits and demerits. This will save a lot of time and also give good clarity to the examiner who is evaluating it. This topper has systematically represented it. Let's now go into All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey. What is the unique thing she has done? That is, after writing the particular options generated, they are asking in this particular question, so what measures will you suggest? That is, what is the action you will take and what measure you will suggest. So what action you will take with respect to All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey, she will choose the third option. What is third option? Take the advice of seniors. So by following principles of integrity and morality. Generally students, with respect to ethics case study, what is one of the most important thing you need to learn is that the examiner is not going to impress with what is the kind of decision you are going to take, why you are taking a particular decision. This why component only is going to add justification for your whatever decisions you are taking, and what justification you are taking and why you are taking. If you are going to come up with good clarity and approach and dimension in your ethics case study, this is where you are going to fetch maximum marks. This is what I will be saying is your heartbeat of your ethical case study. If you look at this layout, this particular case study approach, the third option, take the advice of senior. But while taking the advice of senior, she is telling she will follow the principles of integrity and morality. So what justification she is telling? She will follow the ethical values. That is the first thing. Then she is telling she will also will be guided by constitutional principles. So these both are going to be very important. I said in the starting itself, you need to follow constitution or rules, and you need to follow the ethical values also. If you are going to bring that as a justification in your answer, surely the evaluator will be impressed. Not only that, if you look at the diagrammatic approach in case of ethics case study, what most of the toppers over the years are not doing is that they don't come up with unique diagrammatic approach. This particular topper has used systematically different kinds of diagrams and highlighted the constitutional articles and values. These are some of the value addition technique which you need to learn from All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey. Let's now look into All India Rank 1, that is Aditya Srivastava's justification approach, course of action. So we will stick to objectivity, not compromise security. Not compromise security means he is going with second option. That is, he will keep the critically ill patient struck. That is the thing. But that will also compromise the value of humanity. So what this topper is going to do, he is telling he will find an alternative route for that humanitarian approach. So he is coming to find a balancing position. This is what generally I will be telling. If you are having a balancing position or approach in your ethical case study, that is the attitude of the IAS or IPS officers. Because in bureaucratic way, what is very very important is you are not going to leave any of the people. As I said, when you are writing stakeholders, you need to consider all the people. So that's why this topper has found out a balancing position to balance the critically ill patient as well as not compromising the security. This will surely fetch him highest marks in ethics case study, which we will be telling at the end of the video how much mark he has got in UPSC exam as well. Okay students, then not only that, he will find a room for that ambulance to go with the help of that, and he has given one more important approach, timeline approach or time dimension in the ethical case study. When you are taking a particular decision, whenever you are solving a problem, you should not think only about short term, that is today I am going to do this is a problem, today I will solve this. Not that approach is required. If you want to become an IAS IPS officer, you should tell long term approach. In future I will work upon better planning, better management. I will find what are the network of ambulances so that they will not compromise this particular route of security, and have a proposal for special provisions for ambulances. That's why I'm telling toppers, they will not only think about today, they will think about tomorrow as well. That is a time dimension. So when you are taking a course of action, Y component, how you are going to take a decision, why you are going to take a decision, these two are important. And in that, this particular topper has balanced the humanitarian approach, security approach, has taken time dimension. So what are the things we need to learn while following the course of action? We should follow the ethical values, as I said earlier, constitutional values, and we can bring in diagrams. Not only that, if you look at Aditya Srivastava, balancing approach is going to be very impressive, and work on time dimension as well. In this way, if you could solve your ethics case study, surely the examiner will be impressed or not, you tell me students. That's why I'm telling we need to learn lot of things from ethics, especially from the topper's answer copy, and we can repeat those things and approach in our answers and bring in our creativity as well. And there is a particular third component in the first question, what measures you will suggest. So measures she has highlighted: security she will provide, strengthen the human rights, transparency, accountability, e-technology. So again the ethical values, a technological approach she has brought in her answer in a point-wise format. So some of the key learnings is that after writing the answer, we should try to come out with a conclusion because the conclusion is going to give good clarity to the examiner. You have solved all the problems. See here students, these measures needs to be to ensure that no such loss in its own ground. So basically if you look at the Aditya Srivastava's answer copy, conclusion is missing. You need to write conclusion as well. So overall, by analyzing these two toppers answer copy today, we've learned a lot of things. So what are some of the things we have learned it? First thing, in introduction itself, it's always advisable, well, like Aditya Srivastava, bring in the ethical value. That is the first thing. Introduction, it needs to be highly impressive. Start attacking the ethical value or dilemma in the introduction itself. Second thing, options. While generating options, please try to come out with a maximum of 4 or at least minimum 3 options. And while writing the options, you need to evaluate the options. So while evaluating it, highlight the core values. This is something you need to learn. So ethical values you need to highlight, constitutional values you need to highlight, and while taking a particular decision or course of action, what is very very important, why you are taking a decision, in that please highlight ethical value, constitutional value, balancing approach, and you can also bring in various moral thinkers approach. Listen here students, when you look at Aditya Srivastava's answer copy, has brought in that utilitarian principle. Utilitarian principle, not only that, he has also highlighted he will uphold the rules and regulations of civil servant. So he has talked about rules and regulations, he has talked about moral thinkers. This also you can include when you are taking a decision. So justification, try to bring in what are the rules you will follow, and various moral thinkers or quotes you can also bring in your answer to justify what decision you are taking and why you are taking. This is only very important. I mean, with respect to All India Rank 1 Shakti Dubey, the diagrammatic approach in the course of action is very, very impressive, which you can do as a value addition. And finally, you should write a conclusion, because which many of the, especially today also, even Aditya Srivastava has not written a conclusion, which should be written in the real examination. Okay students, what are the uniqueness by comparing these two topics? What you have learned? You can also comment that in the comment column given below, so that other students can also learn. But from my understanding, what I have observed is the difference between Shakti Dubey and Aditya Srivastava is introduction. Subject matter, Shakti Dubey is writing very generally, but Aditya Srivastava has written directly attacking the ethical value. That's the first difference. Second difference, in Shakti Dubey's answer, stakeholders approach is missing. Aditya Srivastava has written a clear stakeholding approach. Third most important thing is diagram. Diagram is missing in case of Aditya Srivastava, but in case of Shakti Dubey, this diagrammatic approach is going to do value addition and extra marks also she is going to fetch. And the fourth most important thing is, while taking the decision, course of action, Shakti Dubey has followed constitutional value and ethical value. But in case of especially Aditya Srivastava, he has taken much broaderly timeline approach, humanitarian approach, and moral thinkers approach, rules and regulation approach. So this is what is going to be impressive, I will be telling. So you can follow this. And final most important thing is conclusion is missing in Aditya Srivastava. So these are some of the things which you can also learn from these two toppers answer copy and incorporate in your answers. If you look at the marks also, these two toppers, that is Shakti Dubey has got 141 marks, and if you look at Aditya Srivastava, he has got 143, mainly because of that balancing approach, humanitarian approach. Not only that, he has also quoted moral thinkers, which is really missing in case of Shakti Dubey. If you could also do all these dimensions in your answer, you will have lot of extra marks. So what are the learnings from today's video? Introduction or subject matter is going to be crucial unless and until you are writing ethical values. Stakeholders, you should list it down in a diagrammatical or schematic approach. Ethical dilemmas or issues, please try to highlight it. While generating options, try to go for maximum of 4, at least minimum of 3 options. And try to analyze the merits and demerits very clearly. While taking the course of action, what is very very important is why you are following a particular decision. That is what is going to do value addition. And while writing conclusion, please try to write in a minimum of 2 to 3 lines. So if you could follow these approaches in your ethics case study, you can also fetch maximum marks in your ethics case study. And if you have any problems in writing ethics case study approach, you can join the Telegram link which has been given in the description below. Not only that, for the next year, that is the mentorship batch for students who are writing UPSC preliminary examination 2026 and mains examination 2026, we are announcing a mentorship batch, and this is only an online batch. So we have listed the fees details of the program. We are going to come up with 5 different batches. That is the prelims batch exclusively, then prelims and mains integrated batch, an optional batch. We are only giving mentorship for geography optional, and monthly mentorship also available for students who want to really work on answer writing techniques, and exclusive CSAT mentorship program. We are announcing it this year newly. So these are the batches available with us. And if you want to know any particular details, first what we will be suggesting you is, first fill the Google form which has been given in the description box. Do register on the Google form, then try to contact us, so we will provide the details regarding this particular courses. So in case of any further doubts, please try to approach us and do a particular answer writing technique practice very clearly, students, because watching the toper's answer copy alone will not give you effective marks. What is very very important is practicing it and periodically rectifying our mistake. That is what is going to add more value in your answer. Thank you, students.